Male factor fertility is getting the attention that it deserves. Up to 50% of couples that are trying to conceive will find that there is a male factor part of the diagnosis of infertility. In this video, this is part of a two-part series talking about natural ways to boost male factor fertility, and I'm excited to teach you all about it. I'm Dr. Laura Shaheen. I'm a double board certified OBGYN and reproductive endocrinologist, helping people build families and teach people about male factor fertility for 20 years. I'm excited to share this information. If this is the first time you're finding this channel, welcome. You are here and can learn so much about your reproductive health. Be sure and subscribe to this channel so you get my weekly videos all about fertility, reproductive health, and more. 2 ways to stay in touch and learn more. Number 1, my Baby or Bust Fertility podcast. You can listen anywhere you listen to podcasts. Every week, we are learning about a topic, either an interview with an expert in the field or a fertility warrior, or an in-depth discussion straight from me going over evidence. Another way is my weekly newsletter. I'll put a link in the description below. Every week, you can learn about fertility in the news, get my weekly content, and some recommendations for products and books, tips that I love. Now, today we are learning all about male factor fertility, and I'm emphasizing natural ways that you can boost fertility for sperm parameters and overall health and wellness. Now, this is a 2-part series, and my first part of this boosting natural fertility, we went over really important things like nutrition and exercise and stress. So be sure and find that video for very important topics. In this video, we're going to go over 5 new topics with the focus on boosting male factor fertility. Number 1 topic, temperature and staying cool for male fertility. Topic number 2, the importance of sleep. Topic number 3, supplements that can improve male factor fertility. What does the evidence show? Topic number 4, limiting toxins and endocrine disruptors that can impact sperm parameters. And finally, topic number 5, staying hydrated as a way to boost your fertility. Topic number 1, staying cool. So you have probably heard about boxers versus briefs, bike riding, hot tubs, staying cool to improve male factor fertility. What does the evidence show? We know that the scrotum is outside of the body, and naturally sperm does better when it's about 3 degrees lower than body temperature. But what can you do with your lifestyle and your activity levels in order to keep cool and improve your fertility? An excellent study from the Journal of Andrology tried to answer this question, looking at over 3,000 couples that were trying to conceive, interviewing on lifestyle optimization, and looked to time to pregnancy, fertility, and sperm parameters. They specifically gathered information on heat-related activities and how it might impact male factor fertility. The one thing that they found was that using a hot tub more than 3 times per week did decrease fertility and decrease sperm parameters. Other things that they examined and assumed that might impact heat-related male factor fertility, but didn't, was laptop use, type of underwear, sauna use, hours of sitting, like office work, and then use of a car seat heat warmer. Those things did not impact fertility or sperm parameters. It really was the hot tub use over 3 times a week. Now, what about products on the market that say, hey, you need cooler temperatures in order to improve your fertility? There are actually products out there that will cool your scrotal temperature, and it has been proposed and even studied as a way to improve sperm parameters. I have my doubts, but it's interesting to look at what the studies show. One systematic study, and I'll share it here, looked at 8 trials trying to examine this very question. And with the input of data and multiple trials done in many different ways, the authors conclude there's insufficient evidence to draw any firm conclusions about the impact of scrotal cooling on male fertility. There was a positive trend of a slightly higher male fertility with these scrotal temperature devices, but not proven, and further research is needed. So I think it's interesting, but I don't think that you have to run out and buy these products in order to improve your fertility. Avoid hot tubs and try to decrease sort of long exposure to hot temperatures. It is based in fact, but I don't think that I need to recommend these scrotal temperature decreasers to my patients. Topic number 2, get adequate sleep. Sleep is essential and important for so many things: metabolism, rest, stress, hormone levels. We need a circadian rhythm in order to help with the hormonal communication and production for lots of different functions within our body, including reproductive function. Good quality sleep in men helps with hormone balance, testosterone production, and is associated with better sperm production. If you're curious about details on the physiology and the evidence surrounding sleep and fertility for men, there's a wonderful article called Sleep and Reproductive Health. It actually looks at both men and women in the Journal of Circadian Rhythms, and I will link it here. But what is good sleep? I've got some guidelines and tips here, and there's 6 things that I talk to my patients about. Number 1, try to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Tip number 2, routine is key. Try to go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time each evening and each morning, even on the weekends and even on vacation. Trying to stay in that rhythm and that routine will help you have better sleep. Tip number 3, make your room a quiet, restful, stress-free place. Think about blocking out light, really dark shades or an eye mask. Think about quiet, either earplugs or sound machine, but just really try to make your bedroom a quiet and restful place. Tip number 4, turn off screens at least half an hour, but try for about an hour before you're planning to go to bed. Tip number 5, find a pre-bed routine that you can do each evening. So after you turn your screen off, whether it's reading, journaling, yoga, a little bit of light stretching, find some sort of routine that is right for you. And it sort of signals to your body, we are getting ready to have a restful sleep. And tip number 6, if you are just tossing and turning, it's just one of those nights you just cannot get to sleep, get out of bed, walk around a little bit and start the routine all over. Just lying in bed and trying to force to make it happen can make it really frustrating. So just get out of bed, walk around a little bit and start your routine over. I hope these tips are helpful. Topic number 3, supplements for male fertility. So in our part 1, we talked about nutrition, diet, and specific nutrients that you can find in the diet that can improve sperm parameters and male factor fertility. And a lot of these nutrients can be received as supplements. So things like antioxidants, zinc, selenium, etc. So what does the evidence show? Before I get into it, I got to get on my soapbox about supplements. Listen, supplements do not substitute for overall health and well-being, exercise, and adequate healthy nutrition. So you can't eat fast food all week and sit on a couch and take a supplement and say, okay, this is going to make my fertility better. It can be a combination and it can be sort of a boost if you're not getting everything that you need in your diet. The other thing to understand about supplements is they are not well regulated. You cannot assume that what is on the label is in the bottle, but there are some tips that can help you. The FDA in the United States does not regulate supplements. It's felt to be a food. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry and over 40,000 brands of supplements on the market. A lot of supplements spend more money on marketing and beautiful packaging and social media posts than they do on actually high quality ingredients. So things that you can do are to look for third-party testing. Try and just do your research as best as you can. Speak to your doctor about what you're taking. It is as important for your doctor to know what supplements you're taking as well as what prescription medications you're taking. There are some supplements that interact with fertility treatments. There are some supplements that interact with other medications that you're taking. It's not health neutral, or you can't assume that just because it's a supplement that it's safe and it's okay. So just be careful and do your research about what you're taking. Now, as far as supplements that can help male factor fertility, there is some research that's really promising. I'll link a review article here that goes through all of the evidence that has been found and looked at type of supplements and outcomes as far as sperm parameters and male factor fertility. And there are really 5 key supplements that can be very helpful as far as the research shows. And those 5 are coenzyme Q10, omega-3 fatty acids, L-carnitine, selenium, and zinc. So those 5 supplements have been studied individually and shown to improve sperm parameters. Now, you don't have to run out and buy a whole shelf full of supplements. Many good, high quality multivitamins will have zinc and selenium and sometimes even the L-carnitine. Coenzyme Q10 is a wonderful antioxidant. I've got a whole video here going into depth about CoQ10 and fertility for men and women. That's usually something that you have to buy separate. The omega-3 fatty acids you can either find in fish or you can get supplements, usually separate from multivitamins. Topic number 4, reducing environmental toxin exposure. So I educate a lot about endocrine disruptors, BPA, parabens, phthalates, PFAS. A lot of chemicals are in our homes. They're in the food that we eat. They're in the packaging of our food and a lot of what we are doing. We cannot eliminate exposure to endocrine disruptors, but high levels can be associated with poor fertility, increased risk of miscarriage, and decreased success with certain IVF treatments. So you cannot eliminate it. It is something that when you first start to learn about just how much we're exposed to and what little oversight as far as chemicals that are brought into our homes without being tested on humans, it can be really quite overwhelming at first, but that's okay. You just need to learn how to decrease your exposure, and it really, truly can help. Now, I have a lot of resources on this. I have blogs on my website. I have YouTube videos here all about BPA, phthalates, and more. But I'll give you some really good, fast tips that you could change today to decrease your exposure to these toxins and endocrine disruptors. 3 things. Number 1, decrease plastics in your kitchen or touching your food. So plastics are incredible. They have made life so much easier. They are wonderful, but they are full of chemicals that, especially if they are near your food, they're going to get into your system, and they can be full of BPAs, parabens, phthalates, etc. And so think about getting rid of your plastic water bottle and using a glass or stainless steel one. Think about getting rid of the plastic food storage containers. Get glass ones or even stainless steel. Do not heat food or reheat food in plastic. Make sure that is in glass. Just really try to get plastic out of your kitchen as much as possible. I love takeout. It's absolutely wonderful, but the stuff that it comes in does a great job of making sure the food doesn't leak. But you want to get that hot food out of those takeout containers and get them into, a glass container or ceramic or something different to eat, because the exposure can be there. The longer that food is exposed to that plastic, the more of the chemicals get in. So think about that. Plastic and food do not mix. Heat, plastic, and food is the worst. And so those small changes can make a big difference. Second thing, take your shoes off when you get home for the day. Leave them at the front door, leave them at the back door. Our shoes can track in a lot of things, pesticides and other chemicals that are outside into the world. And if you just leave your shoes at the door, you're not going to be tracking it into your house. That is something that you could start doing today. And finally, products. Think about products that you use to clean your home. Think about products that you use on your skin, shampoo, laundry detergent. So a lot of products, especially those with strong scents, are full of phthalates and other chemicals that can really impact our reproductive health. So buying things that are unscented is a great first step. As you are running out of a product like a lotion, check it out. Go to websites that can give you some information about what ingredients are in your products. Things like EWG or Think Dirty, or there's a lot of different websites that can give you some information, and just replace your lotion with something a little bit safer. You don't need a ton of different cleaning supplies for your house. A spray bottle with vinegar mixed with a little bit of water does an amazing job. So plastics and food don't mix. Think about taking shoes off when you get home and rethink your products as they need to be replaced in your home. And those key things are going to really decrease your exposure and I hope improve your fertility. Finally, tip number 5, staying hydrated. We know that staying hydrated is important for weight loss and metabolism, overall health and well-being, our immune system. Well, guess what? Staying hydrated is important for your fertility, especially your male factor fertility. I do have a study here that associates dehydration with poor sperm quality, poor volume, and increased prostate infections, which can impact male factor fertility. So that study could be helpful if you want some details. And for you, there's 3 signs of dehydration I want you to look for. Number 1 is just being thirsty, dry mouth, being thirsty. That is a sign of dehydration. You want to kind of keep water with you or something a little bit flavored, just constantly sipping. If you get to the point where you have dry mouth, that's actually pretty dehydrated. The other thing to look for is dark urine. So dark urine, sign of dehydration. You want it to be sort of really light yellow. And the final thing is just fatigue and a light headache. That can be a sign of dehydration as well. So some tricks to staying hydrated include carrying around a glass or a stainless steel water bottle. If you work at a desk or near a computer, just keep water in front of you so you can constantly be sipping a little bit. And start your day with a big glass of water. I know we love coffee in the morning. Coffee can be a little bit dehydrating. Start off with a big glass of water, and then you can move to your coffee if that is what you want for the day. So I hope that these tips for lifestyle optimization, kind of natural ways to think about fertility, is something that you feel empowered to do today. Today, in this part 2, we talked about the importance of sleep, staying cool, some supplements that could help, limits to exposures to certain toxins and household products, and the importance of staying hydrated. You can go to part 1 to learn more about diet and exercise and stress and other key tips. But with these 2 videos, I hope that you have learned a lot about how to optimize sperm parameters, optimize male fertility, and something that you could start today. Like this video if you learned something, comment with questions that you have. Be sure and subscribe to this channel so you get my weekly videos all about reproductive health. And until next week, wishing you love, luck, and pineapples.